And we're going to go through a few simple exercises for your hips. Just loosen any cranky tight hips. So if you'd like to start in a child's pose, bringing the knees out nice and wide and then allowing the torso to reach far forward and melting the chest and heart down towards the mat. Taking a few full rounds of breath here. Okay, when you're ready, we'll slowly come all the way up to an all fours position, bringing the wrists under the shoulders and the knees under the hips. We'll go through a few rounds of cat-cow, because cat and cow is always really nice. Loosening up the spine, especially when you've been sitting down at your desk all day. And I like to look towards my heels. It's really nice. You can feel it in the hips as well here. So just moving around to any tight positions. From here, we're going to allow the hips to sink over towards the left side. So go as far as feels good for you. Wherever feels good, allowing the hips to drop down. And inhale to move back to center, and then we'll allow the hips to shift towards the right and dropping them towards the right. You can feel the weight shift into that right palm. You might like to move from side to side. Beautiful. From here, we're going to tuck the toes and we're going to stand all the way up. So moving to a forward fold and reaching all the way up. So we're in a standing position. Beautiful. Our next pose is going to be goddess. So we're going to stand in a wide-legged position, bringing the feet so that they're on a diagonal, and the knees so that they're tracking in the same direction as your toes. We're moving into goddess pose here. So this is a beautiful hip opener, and it's a really beautiful pose to also build strength in the quads. And you can choose to cactus out your arms if that feels good, or you can bring your hands to your hips. I like to cactus my arms out. It can really open up the heart here at the same time. And taking a few rounds of breath. 3 full rounds of breath here. We're going to inhale, extend the legs, and exhale, we're going to flex back down. Inhale, rise. Exhale to lower. See if you can go a little bit deeper on every exhale. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. We'll bring the hands back to our hips here and we'll move into a skandasana. So we're going to shift our weight towards my right side, your left side, and then flexing the toes. And we'll start in a high skandasana here, so bringing the hands to heart center, really grounding down with that front foot, and at the back of the mat, your other toes are flexed. Take a breath in, lift the heart, and if it feels good, you might like to sink a little bit deeper. So we're quite active here. Another 2 full rounds of breath. Lifting the heart and exhale. Beautiful. On the inhale, we're going to lift all the way up and we're going to swap sides. So transferring the weight to the opposite foot, flexing the toes, Take a big breath in, rolling the shoulders back and down, lifting the heart up. And exhale, maybe sinking a little deeper. One more full round of breath. Beautiful, we'll come all the way back up. And we're going to shift our toes so that they're facing forward. And we'll move into a forward fold here. Allowing the torso to drop and the crown of the head to drop towards the floor. Maybe using your peace fingers, grabbing a hold of your big toes. 3 full rounds of breath. And we'll gently come all the way back up. And we're going to meet in a seated pose. So we're going to come all the way down to the mat. From here, bringing our feet so that they're like a diamond, not too close in, but not too far away. All right, and then lift the heart up, and then exhale, we're going to fold forward into this beautiful forward fold. And again, 3 full rounds of breath here, allowing your whole torso to drop. You might be up here, you might be quite close to the floor. Anywhere is good, just noticing. One more full round of breath. Okay, and from here we're going to bring the left leg down, right leg lifts on top of the left, bringing the heel on top of the knee. Both shins are parallel to the front. We're going to lift the heart here, and you can stay here, or if it feels okay, slowly shifting the torso forward. If there's ever any pain in your knees or anywhere at all, please come out of the pose. This one is quite a strong one, so see how you're feeling. Otherwise you can stay in the diamond shape. Beautiful, and then we'll swap legs around, opposite leg on top. You'll notice one feels tighter than the other side. And just being okay with that, just noticing and folding forward. It's much tighter for me. All right, from here, we're going to come into a wide-legged fold. This is my favourite, not everyone's favourite, but I love it. I've got very flexy hips, so but coming into a wide forward fold, just allowing your torso to fold forward. You might just sit here, or you might like to come a bit closer towards the ground. See if you can keep your toes flexed towards the ceiling. And allowing yourself to melt down here. If there's any strain, just moving out. And then you might notice that you can move back into it. One more full breath here. Beautiful. All right, from here, we're going to lift up into Malasana. So planting both feet down, wider than hip width apart. And we're just going to press forward and shift forward. forward to our Malasana Squat. So have a wriggle around with your feet. You might need to bring them closer in, maybe closer out. Really depends on your own hips. And then using the elbows, you might like to press on the inside and press them out. It's a real deep opener, hip opener here. Maybe one hand reaches towards the floor, the other reaches towards the ceiling. If that feels good and you want to go a bit deeper, you might like to bind. And swapping sides, so using the leverage from our elbow against the knee, reaching up, and maybe binding. Doing whatever feels good for you and your body here. And we'll release our hands back down, send the hips up. We'll come into a forward fold. Allow the knees to bend as much as possible to get the chest towards your thighs. And then we'll inhale, sweep the arms all the way up to the sky, maybe looking up, and bringing the